experiment video has been released showing an actor posing as a police officer attempting to take a bikini off a woman on a beach in Britain. Here's what happened at Southend-on-Sea over the weekend.
I can wear whatever.
Wear it here.
No, excuse. Do not touch me. Excuse me. Don't.
Take it off. Take it off.
You can't touch me. You can't. Please give me a reason why I should take this off.
No, it's religious. No, it's not what terrorists wear. It's a religion.
You're not terrorists. You just have such a small mind.
She's obviously a Muslim.
I feel sorry for you.
We're here with us now, who actually is involved in the making of that video. Amina Maz, an actress at the online stunt group trollstation, and Endrit Farizoli, who played the police officer in that clip. Hello to you both.
Hello.
Talk us through the plan.
Sure. So we kind of played on the controversy that happened in France.
Yeah.
Given that the woman on the beach was told to strip by armed police. So we thought, let's put the UK public to the test. And we played out the social experiment with Endrit playing the police officer. I was playing the Muslim woman. And we got quite a great reaction, obviously, with only women stepping up to my defence.
Talk us through what actually happened as far as you were concerned, Endrit. So you were playing the police officer.
Yes.
There was a chat going on to start with, and there wasn't much reaction from people at that stage, was there?
So I could see a couple of ladies sort of coming closer to see what was going on. I was trying to be loud and make sure they could hear, because otherwise they won't know what to do. And but no one was really stepping forward, so I took it up a notch, and I grabbed her burkini as if to remove it, and that's when everyone sort of ran forward. It was two black ladies that stepped right in, and then everyone came with them.
Yeah, as you said, it was women that came in to defend your honour, wasn't it? Were you surprised by that?
Yeah, quite surprised actually. I mean, I would have thought, obviously, alpha males would kind of think, okay, well, there's an authority figure, so perhaps I would be able to diffuse the situation. But I guess women have that voice, and perhaps they just, you know, they could kind of calm the situation. And it's quite interesting that they would actually confront a person of authority. I mean, I don't know.
And they were quite forceful, weren't they? Were you?
Exactly.
Did you feel intimidated?
I felt quite intimidated. They were, you know, very forceful. So that's why I had to call it off quickly and let them know it's a social experiment. We're trying to raise awareness for what's happening in France.
We've been asking people on social media today what they thought and how they would react. And George Perfect says he'd lodge a formal complaint, is what he was saying, rather than actually jumping right in. This is what he said.
If I saw a policeman stopping people at the side of the beach, I would first of all make sure I know what's going on in the situation. I would ask the people around what's going on and get their opinion on what the police officer has just done. Then I would advise them possibly to go to the Police and Crime Commissioner or the Independent Police Complaints Commission and lodge a complaint if it was required. I wouldn't just jump in and intervene, because obviously you don't know what the police officer is doing and you don't know what case he is trying to solve.
You're nodding there, Amina.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no one would really want to personally go up to a police officer and confront him. I mean, they're just doing their job, I guess. So it's quite interesting that people did. And
yeah, so it was in stark contrast to what people did in France, which was they actually cheered and heckled the lady off the beach, whereas here people stepped forward and defended her. And it just shows, you know, it makes you feel proud to be British.
Exactly.
I was going to say, does that reassure you and your faith in humanity in the United Kingdom?
100%,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah, and it shows how multicultural we are. I mean...
Yeah, we're a much more integrated society, because I don't think people realise that to the lady wearing the burkini, she doesn't expose those parts of her body to anyone. And so to be forced to strip is a big deal for her mentally, and it affects her a lot. So I know he's saying that, you know, he'll report it afterwards, but by that point the damage has already been done. She's already been forced to strip. Whereas what those ladies did was very commendable. They stepped in front of me. They weren't afraid to get, you know, into trouble, because of course they thought I was a real police officer. Stepped right in.
And how did people react once they realised that actually, you know, it was a social experiment?
They were so relieved. They were so happy. The way that that woman just embraced me and she just gave me this hug, I just felt so much warmth. And she was so happy to know that, you know, this wasn't an actual occurrence. This was, you know, just a little...
Yeah, it's when you touched her head. You see, I don't think I would have got involved until you touched her head, and then I would probably have had to say something. You would have to, at that stage, you would have to step in, wouldn't you, and defend her honour. We've been chatting to body language expert Judy James, and she sent us her video in as well.
Would I have stepped in here? I can say categorically yes, but that's because I'm a body language expert, and I have to say that fake policeman's body language was such rubbish that I would have sussed straight away that he wasn't the real deal. Otherwise, people can't give an accurate hypothetical answer to this because we work very much on the moment in circumstances like this, and the eye makes a lot of very complex evaluations in terms of the level of danger, the level of threat, how many other people are around, the bystander theory. And for most people, though, the cut-off point would have been where he literally grabbed at her and she shouted, and that's where people would have thought, particularly the women that were honing in on them anyway, would have thought, no, we need to step in here. This is where she appears to be under threat, and she definitely needs our help.
You see, that's exactly what I was saying. And I suppose you have to deal with the fact that some people would be critical of what you did. And I just want to tell you what James Slatery, James has called the supposed policeman, I think he means you, entrant, and he's saying that your behaviour was disgusting. Do you want to hear what he had to say?
Yeah, sure.
Here we go. Sure.
Yeah, I would have tackled the police officer without a shadow of a doubt. Absolutely disgusting behaviour.
Oh.
Well, I mean, my behaviour was absolutely disgusting. I was portraying what was happening in France, exactly, which we all felt was absolutely disgusting. So I'm glad I convinced him, you know.
Do you feel, though, that, you know, that some criticism would be levelled at you and people would be saying, yeah, you are holding up a mirror, but actually it's inappropriate because you are impersonating a police officer and you are suggesting that it's what, I'm guessing you wouldn't wear a bikini to the beach, and so it's something that you're doing just to try and hold up a mirror for society, and it's not something that everybody would appreciate.
I mean, we don't. We did it to raise awareness for the issue, and we succeeded in that. The costume was obtained legally online. You know, anyone can buy the costume. We didn't. There was no criminal intent or anything, so we didn't do anything illegal.
There was no ID on the police officer's uniform and stuff.
I mean,
so there was no.
No matter what you do, you're going to get criticised.
Of course.
Exactly,
Hey, welcome to my world.
I feel like it was a success.
So, what are we taking away from this social experiment, do you think?
That Britain is a much more integrated. We're much more integrated. We stick up for each other, and that the people in France could really need to take a good look at themselves and think, are we really going to cheer people who are being forced to strip off a beach? I mean, I can't
I
even.
think it kind of shows that women can't really win either way. You're wearing no clothes, you're being criticised for it. You're wearing too many clothes, you're being criticised for it. So what can we really do? I mean.
Bear in mind, the bikini
to the
is very
stage
similar
where,
to a swimsuit,
exactly.
to a wetsuit,
it's like
sorry.
wetsuit,
and you wouldn't ask anyone to remove a wetsuit if they had it at the beach.
Yeah, exactly. So, and somebody will step in to defend your honour if they feel that you are being intimidated in some way.
Exactly.
Which is what I found heartwarming when I saw the video yesterday. And it's been watched something like 1 million times already?
Absolutely.
How do they get to see it? It's on trollstation
on
YouTube.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, it's great to talk to both of you. We appreciate you taking the time to join us here on Sky News this afternoon. Thanks a lot.
You take care.
Thanks a lot. Do check it out, actually. Watch it in full and see what happens. See when the women stepped in. See how eventually a man did step in once all the alpha females had moved in. And then the person that was recording the video, how eventually, when it looked as though our police officer, Endrick, was in a little bit of trouble, he moved in just to make sure you were okay as well, didn't he? Okay, it's great to talk to you, as I said. Thanks a lot for coming in. Thank you. Now, let's talk about